Hello everyone, welcome to the session today on learning Python in 7 days. Today is very special because in next half an hour we are going to create confidence in many people to be ready and become Python programmers plus data science professionals. So thank you so much for joining in. It's an absolute pleasure to host you. Pixeltest is a community of over 1,000 people of Web3 and AI professionals, and we look forward to train about 1 million people into these upcoming technologies. So welcome you everyone. People who are joining us on our social channels like YouTube, LinkedIn, you can go ahead and see on the chat. There is a link to the Zoom session. Once you click there, you can directly join us on Zoom live to interact. Right? Okay. Thank you so much. Great. So how many of you are excited for day 2? How many of you have joined us for the day 1? Right. If you are excited, type E in the chat box. Thank you so much, Rajendra sir. Thank you. Thank you, Sagarika and Fahim for joining in. Thank you, Yogesh sir. And that's great. Amazing. Lots of ease. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing in the excitement. Let's begin. So, like people who are joining us for our first day, we are going to start with a technique called Ho'oponopono technique, which is a technique useful for internal self-doubt clearance and negativity clearance. So this is a Hawaiian technique popularized worldwide, and many of our community members also use it, and it is a very beneficial technique. So I request you to close your eyes for this 5-minute technique, and this technique would require use of 4 statements which are high energy, high vibration statements. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and we are going to say these statements to ourselves, right? So I request you to close your eyes and we'll begin. Okay, so during the session, the technique, the Ho'oponopono technique, we are going to talk to our own self, our energy, right? So I request you to close your eyes. Put your hand on your heart. Relax your breath. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back. Relax your feet. Try to repeat these statements out loud. Keep your eyes closed. I'm really sorry, dear Sachi. Here you'll be taking your name, right? I'm really sorry, dear Sachi, for not taking care of you. I'm so sorry for disconnecting with you. I am the one who judges you so much. I am the one who criticizes you so much. Please forgive me, dear Sachi, for not taking care of you. Please forgive me, dear Sachi, for underestimating you. Forgive me for not believing in you. Thank you, dear Sachi, for letting me have this beautiful experience of life. Thank you so much. From now on, it doesn't matter who doesn't love you. It doesn't matter who doesn't appreciate you. From now on, I promise you, I love you. I'm here, and I would never let you go again. Take a deep breath. Rub your hands together and put that energy to your face. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone. I would request you to put one word in the chat box. So how did this exercise, the Ho'oponopono technique, made you feel, right? What is the result of before 2 minutes before doing this exercise and after doing this technique. We have people in our social channels who are also messaging in. Jay says calm, relaxing. Rajendra says peaceful. Yogi sir says felt connected with myself. This technique is really known for that, and that is the major intent of this technique, sir. It's a very good one. Yes. Abhijit says good. Thank you so much. I think Gauri Shankar sir says, maybe you are into the spiritual thought process. My aura's energy has exponentially increased. I think that's something really nice to hear. Okay, great. So very nice things. A lot of people say calm, relaxing. Thank you so much, everyone. So let's begin with our day 2 exercise. So let me share the link to the exercise here for our social channels, sharing for LinkedIn, YouTube, and everyone. People who are joining us on YouTube, you can see that in the chat, there is a link to in blue color, which is pinned, where you can click on the Zoom link and join us live. Okay. So people who are already joining us from our WhatsApp group, you can directly go ahead and start practicing by this exercise. People who are new, who are joining us for the day 1, you can see that on the YouTube video that you came from, in that description, there is a link for WhatsApp group where we share everyday updates. So you can go ahead, click there and join our WhatsApp group as well. People can even find the link to today's practice notes in the description, which I've already shared on the chat. Okay, so let me share my screen and let's begin. Great. Okay, so I'm opening the link that I'm shared with you. So now if you could see that within this particular link, which says Python made easy for AI, day 2, Python for data science, you can go ahead and see that you have this compiler embedded within the page where you can practice by exercise. So people who are joined yesterday, you already know how to interact with it. People who are joining us for the first time, if you're on a mobile device, this will look different, right? So you'll have to click on these particular shells, these particular tabs to switch. Like you'll have Python shell beside and script.py here, right? So yesterday we have learned on the day 1 the printing exercises. Let me show you that, where we have learned how to print variables, how to print strings. We have understood how to use variables, what are variables. We have understood how variables can be used to do arithmetic. So how many of you have remember what we have done yesterday? Type R in the chat box. Thanks, Arjuna. Thanks, Rachana. Thanks, Anshul sir. Thanks, Anjana. Thank you. Okay, great. So a lot of people remember what we've done yesterday. And if at all you've not done, you can see our day 1 session on our live section of the channel also, right? So if you're on the WhatsApp group, you can see that will be there in the WhatsApp link as well, right? So our mode of learning is learning by exercise. Now you can see that there is exercise 1. And what does that exercise say? So the intent for whole of our 7-day session is to build confidence little by little in each of you, to make you feel and understand that Python is easy and it's not something that you put aside just thinking that it's complex, right? So once you see for yourself, you'll know that it is easy for you, then you start taking step towards learning Python fully and then becoming a data science professional. This particular 7-day session is an absolute great gift from Pixeltest, which is part of our bigger AI bronze program or AI silver program. The details of how the industry is and how to use the knowledge that you have learned on Python and how to get into this industry will be shared more on our day 7, where we'll have our masterclass, where Latika ma'am from the team would be clearly explaining how to go about joining within the community or going forward in your career, right? So thank you so much, everyone. So let's begin. Now, if you see that, you can see that there are these exercises. So the first exercise says, on a coin toss, if it's heads, India bats. If it is tails, Australia bats. So yesterday we have seen the basics and said we will teach Python to think on itself. We'll give it a little thinking ability. Now we are doing a little of it. So we are saying if it is heads, tell us it is India's batting. If it is tails, then tell us it is Australia's batting, right? So it's a very small program, but it will help us understand the exercise and the concepts, right? So how many of you have these link open along with me? Type, R. How many of you are able to run this along with me? Type R in the chat box. Great. Thank you so much, Anshul. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Yogesh. Great. Because that's very important that, thank you, Rajendra sir, that you run it parallelly. Okay. So let me share my screen back again. Here we go. Right. So I'm going to first, we are going to learn by exercise. I'm pasting the exercise here. Now you can see that here it says the first variable is toss. You learned about variables yesterday, and we have seen how to define a variable and give it a string value, right? So yesterday we have seen that how we can give any text like learning Python is easy. So we have seen this yesterday, and today we are using the same variable to store a value which is strings. Okay. So now what we are doing, we have now toss, the variable has heads in it. Okay. So the toss is heads. Now what we're doing is we're using this statement, right, which is the agenda for today's session, which is conditionals. So what happens when there's a condition, right? So go left for Delhi, go right for Mumbai from here. So that kind of conditionals, how do you give it to Python, right? So this is what we learn. So what do we do here is we use if statement here. So now what we are saying in this first statement is it says if the variable toss is heads and there is this colon, if toss is heads, then we have an enter. You can see that we have, after enter, we have given a little space, like you can even give one space and pasted the next set of line of codes, right? If toss is heads, now if you see double equal to means this is check. Whenever you use single equal to, this is definition. When you use double equal to, it is a check. So we are saying check if toss is heads. If toss is heads, then whatever is there inside if block, go ahead and run it. So now what do we have? It says print India is batting, right? So if I'm going to run it, you can see that it says India is batting because toss is heads, and we have said if toss is heads, print India is batting, right? So how many of you little understood what we have done here? If you understood, type U in the chat box. If you have any question, you can ask or let us know.
So
Yes, Anshul.
sure, variables can be on string.
Variables can hold strings, correct? Yes, Anshul. So basically, what is the question? So is the question, can variable hold only strings or?
So I'm asking that print bracket string greeting then again string, then bracket. Then is it correct?
Okay. So basically, is it related to yesterday's program, Anshul?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, I'm going to first, what I'll do, I'll finish this particular exercise, then we'll come to the print exercise. Okay. So
Okay.
because we are in between here, we'll finish this. So can you tell here it is whatever we have done here is clear? What?
Yes. I have
Okay.
clear now.
Yeah, you've cleared. So what we'll do, I'll come back once we do this exercise. We'll come, come back. So thank you so much, Anshul, for staying engaged and coming up with the question. Thank you, Yogesh sir, for saying that you've understood it. That's great. So now, if toss the variable, if it has anything else, like let's say it has tails, we have not told anything to this statement what to do if it is tails. So if I run it, so it is not going to do anything. It did not do anything, right? So what we are going to say now is if toss is equal to heads, print India is batting, then we say else. If it is not heads, then we say print, we open the parentheses and we give a string, we say Australia's batting. Okay, so now what Python is doing is it comes in this line number 3 and says, okay, now the toss is tails. Okay, so now on line number 5, this human he's asking me if toss is heads, but I know that toss is tails, so I think this is false. Okay, then it says I'll not print this, then it'll go to the else statement. Yeah, now because it is not heads, I should go to the else statement and then go and say print Australia is batting. So if I run this, you can see that it has printed Australia is batting, right? So this is how you have given based upon heads or tails. Now, whenever I say heads, it's going to say India is batting. If I, let's just say if I run coin, flip the coin once again, if I run it, so if it is heads again, it's say India is batting. And whenever it is tails, and whenever we run the program, it says it's Australia is batting. Okay. So we have given a very little small thinking ability to the program here. I hope this is clear to everyone, right? So if it is, if you understood this particular example here, the exercise 1, type U in the chat box. Great. Thank you so much, everyone. People who are joining us on our social channels like YouTube, thank you, Fahim, thank you, Rajendra, thank you, Yogesh. So you can directly join us by using the Zoom link that we have on the chat and join us live on Zoom itself. People who are not directly on our WhatsApp group, you can see that in the description, there is our link to WhatsApp group. Okay, so that's great. Now what we are going to do is we'll first go ahead and clear this doubt. Yes, Anshul sir. Okay, now Anshul sir. So what I'm doing is I've removed everything and I'm going to say, yeah, Anshul, if you are here, this is one print statement. What is the query? What if at all we want to change this?
No. So my question, now I have understood that whatever you put in a string Australia's batting, then we print Australia batting.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. If we change here Australia batting, like toss and toss here variable, then my question is that key toss then is between we say string or in only brackets.
Okay, so basically I got it. So what you're saying is if this is the exercise, now toss should be only strings, or is it, can it be without string? That is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so now this way, in actually a variable can hold a string or a number. Okay, so what we can do here is, let's do a different exercise. Now without strings, if we want to do it with numbers, Okay. Now what we will say is if heads equal to 1, like heads means 1. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are saying toss equal to 1. Let's say 1 is heads. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm saying hash commenting 1 is for heads, and then I'm saying 0 is for tails. Okay. Now coming to your question, Anshul, if should it be only string or numbers? It depends upon how you want the logic to be. I have written it heads or tails. So then if the variable is holding a number, you have to have a condition also. The check also should be with a number. So what, instead of string, anything that is within double quotes is a string. So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to say if toss equal to 1, right? So we are saying toss is 1. This is like definition. Now, if toss is 1, then say India is batting, else say Australia is batting, right? So it need not be a string always. Why we have taken a string? If you want a string here, you need to have in condition also a string for check, right? So for example, now toss is 1. If I'm going to run it, now it says India is batting. If I say the toss is 0, if I run it, it's going to say Australia is batting. So what is happening here is, now first Python will come here and say, okay, toss, the variable toss has 0 value. Okay, now it is 0. Then it will come here on line number 7 and say, the variable toss, what I need to check is it 1? Now, Anshul, the question is the toss 1 here?
Yes, then the answer is India's batting.
Yeah, so if the toss is 1 here, then it will be, if it is 0, it will come here and say toss is not equal to 1. Then it will go to the else portion and print Australia is batting. Okay.
Yes.
So I hope that clarifies. Basically, if whatever you want to do, the check, it has to be aligned with that. If you want to use numbers, you can use numbers. You can do this in checks also, right? So basically, I'll tell you how to do. You maybe the confusion is between equals to and double equals to. Okay, so let me show this to you. Now there is a slight difference between this equal to 0 and double equal to 0. Okay, so what is the difference is, here we are saying the value of toss is 1. We are saying we are putting in the box 0, but here somebody else is asking is 0 in the box. So double equal to is a check, right? So if here we are going to say, if let's just say toss is 1, and here toss double equal to 1 means it is checking. Maybe you are thinking, if the toss we are saying it is 1 now. No, it is saying the toss is 1, and it will come here and say now 1 equal to 1, then it will print India is batting. Okay, so I hope that clarifies your
I got it.
Yeah, okay. So Yogesh sir has a question. Okay, so the object-oriented programming concepts will cover towards the end, Yogesh, and we have even our paid program even has more detailed object-oriented programming concepts, but this particular program is more intended for people who want to build have the confidence to go into Python programming as well, but you can stick around. So may I know which city you are from, sir? If you can unmute and let us know which city you are. Pune, is it? Okay. So what is your current background, sir? You can even unmute. It's not a problem.
Yeah, hi.
Yes,
I
yes,
work as a domain expert. I am a bioinformatician by training, and I
okay.
work as a domain expert between IT as well as the biology field.
Wow. So basically, you have to bridge the gap between IT and biology field.
Yes, yes.
That's very unique, actually. So what is this role called?
A domain expert.
Domain expert. Okay,
So basically, if there is a requirement in terms of biology, so my job is to kind of understand the code a little bit and see if it is biologically correct. And then, it is taken up by higher developers to be written in any complex languages like Java or C# or something like that. Otherwise, I
Wow.
use a little bit of Python for prototyping. That's the rule.
That's great, Yogesh sir. I think now if you go deeper into Python, data science and AI would be something that you can easily, jump upon, because I'm sure in other cases, this is also called like the business analyst role, where here the taking the context of biology out, and if there's a requirement from the client, a person understands it and communicates it with the developers and gets it developed. So I think this is a little similar to that, but here you are the domain expert, because you need to know both languages, the understand a little bit of coding and also the domain specific language.
Yes, kind of. Yeah, you
That's
put
great.
it the right way. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, okay, sir. So basically, the object-oriented programming concepts will cover towards the end, but there we have it in our detailed course also, which is the AI bronze, which we'll be talking more about during the 7 days. And also you'll be even joining the master class. In the master class, we'll be sharing more details about how you can shift from your domain into mainstream coding or consulting, or this analyst role that you are already working on, how to add on more skills and get into this particular stream, and everything will be covered, where Latika ma'am very clearly would be explaining it. So this will be roughly on Saturday. That will be happening. We'll be sharing the links to that also, UK sir. Thank you so much for the question, and letting us know a little new things. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. So if we come back to our exercise. So people who are joining us on our social channels, you can go ahead and join us on Zoom directly by using the link in the chat, right? So it is pinned, it will be in the blue color ribbon. You can come directly join in there. Okay, so we'll learn a little bit more. So this, because we have many people who are from a non-coding background, also we are covering from the basics. So basically, if at all you know a little bit of this will be a refresher for you, or you may choose to even just go towards the complex concepts only, or maybe the complex exercises. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So now if you see the exercise number 2, what it says is the logic of traffic signals, right? So now what we are going to do here is, let's just say we are going to create a variable. The variable here is a string variable. So Anshul, maybe here you'll get a little bit more clarity. So now we are saying there's a variable called signal, and we are giving it value green. Okay. So now that we are using making the string as green, we have to make a conditional check also on a string, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm saying if the variable signal has green in it. So now this is how the statement goes. Then I'm going to say, I'm going to give a colon, and on the next line, a little bit on the inside. So this is called indentation. If you give a little space from the line of this particular conditional inside, this is called indentation, right? So I'm going to say print go. Okay. So if go, and that will be in double quotes, because any string that we want to print has to be in double quotes. Okay. So now if you take it a little bit on the right side, this is called indentation. Okay. So now what will happen here is Python will come here and check, okay, signal is green. What the user is saying is the signal is holding the value green because we have defined it. Now it will come here and check, is signal green, right? If the signal is green, which is yes, it is green, then it is going to print go. Okay. Else, if let's just say it is something else, if it is red, it will come here and say, is signal green? Then the answer is no, signal is red. Then it will not print this statement. There's nothing else to do. So it will do nothing, right? So let's try to run this when it is red, right? So it has done nothing. But when the signal is green, You can see that it just printed go, right? So you can see that a similar logic like we have done for the coin flip, we have done here. But now only thing is like in a coin flip, it is only heads or tails. But in a traffic signal, it is green, yellow, and red also, yellow or orange, right? So now how do we do a check on that? There is no if else. There is also an else if it is not green, do a check again, right? So how do we do that? So that is where in Python we have something, a shorthand for, let's just say else if. Instead of writing it else if, what do we do is we say elif. Okay, what this means is it is something like if statement, but it will first check the if statement, then it will, if it is not true, then it will go to the second statement and say else if signal is red, then colon, then we'll say print double quotes stop. Okay, so if it is green, it will say go. If it else if, so this is shorthand for else if, then it'll say print stop. Okay, so if it is green, it is going to say go. If it is red, it's going to say stop, right? So now we have understood how to say, if condition, how to give an else if condition. Now let's just say if it is something else than yellow or green, right? So red and green. So let's just say if the signal is yellow. Now if I run it, there's nothing going to happen because the Python came here and saw the signal is not green, it is yellow. Okay, I'll not print this. I'll go here and say signal is signal red. Okay, it is not red, it is yellow. So I'll not run this, but I don't have anything else to do. So it will not do nothing and just end the loop, right? And close there. So now what we do here is then we say else. Now if it is not both, if it is not green or red, then go into the else block and print say get red. Okay, so here also, because this is a string, okay, we're going to use double quotes. Let's just say I'm going to put here get ready. Okay, so if it is yellow, then it will say get ready. Okay, so let's try. If it is red, it is going to say stop again. If it is green, it is going to say go. If it is anything else, let's just say yellow, it is going to say get ready or wait, right? So how many of you understood this new line that we have learned, else if, the elif, right? So if you have understood this, type U in the chat box. People who are joining us on our social channel, you can use the comment section to add it in the comments, right? Great. Thank you so much, Vijay. Thank you so much. So people who have understood this, type U in the chat box. Thank you so much, Rajkumar. Thank you so much, Anshul. Thank you, Fahim sir. Thanks, everyone. Right. So now that we have understood how to do an if and else statement in the conditional, Karthik has a question. Okay, Karthik says, okay, Priya says, already I know C language, Python is new for me. So most of the logic, Priya, would be similar. The syntax, meaning how we are using the variables or how we are writing the conditionals or how many lines we are using in Python would be different. Nice that you are having a little C language, right? So maybe know, Priya, which city you are from. You can unmute and let us know. Chennai, is it? Okay. So I'm in Manamadurai. So can you unmute and let us know what is your current background? Great. So in the meanwhile, yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah. I think Priya says in the chat, homemaker. It is not just Priya ma'am. It is definitely something we are proud of. So not just homemaker, you are a homemaker. So thank you so much. Really glad that you've joined in, Priya ma'am. We have many people in our community who are homemakers. So we are really appreciative. Even within our community, we have even a special scholarship for women, right? Not that we are trying to push, but we feel that there is definitely, we require more people in the community who are women, or even more developers who are women. So that is definitely something we aspire for. So ma'am says, I want to learn and do something. And we have people from all age groups. We have people who are even 12-year-old. Even if you look at our channel, you can see that we have one of our youngest member, Medansh, who got prestigious awards from even the PM. He's from Jalandhar, Medansh. So you can search about him on the channel as well. We have people who are till 64, who are still learning, and surprisingly also trying to join the workforce. Many people are also able to do that, right? So really nice to know, Priya ma'am. Thank you so much. Karthik says variable is enough for that to give a value. So Karthik, if you can unmute, that would be easier for us to understand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Karthik. So let me share my screen. We'll understand your query. Yeah, go ahead, Karthik.
Sir, in the normal Python, we are using options now. Suppose enter your color, something and all. But in this Python, we are giving a value for the variable. Signal is equal to yellow. But if the variable is not there, we are supposed to give the statement as enter your color, something. Na?
Yes, okay, we can do that. So we'll be talking about that later, also in our further programs. Also, we also have it in our advanced things. What Karthik sir is saying is, if we are not giving the signal, defining it here, can we ask, or how do we ask user to tell what is the signal now? So for example, the prompt, there will be a prompt that will say, what is the signal now? If he enters red, then it will say stop. If he enters green, it will say go. If he enters anything else, it will say get ready. Okay. So
switch what we will go and get in C.
Yes,
language.
Yeah, that is how we do it in C. Even in Python also, we have input to take that, sir. So this particular compiler.
Is there any difference between elif and else, sir?
Elif and else. So basically now, else will not take any condition. Now, if you see here, there is no condition. Okay. But if you see elif, it will take one condition, right? So if it is not this, it will take this. And you can have multiple elifs also.
Then the Python is first passing through the red, and then it is coming for yellow. Correct. Yes. So it first, what will do, even you can have multiple elifs. Like let's just say, if signal, we have a new signal. Let's say it is white. Okay. Now, so if we give many else if na,
you can give many else.
The Python will only stop at the current statement in between, but the next statement, what we given in last.
Yeah. So how, I'll tell you how it works. So now,
how
what
many else if can it pass?
Yeah. So let's just say now I'm saying if it is white, let's say walk. Okay. Now what it will do here is it will come the first statement. It will check if the variable is whatever it in given, right? So is it white? So this will become false. So when this particular phrase is false, it will go for the next elif statement. Okay. If we do not have elifs, it will directly go to the else statement. If we have elif, it will check if it is red, if it is white, or you can have any number of statements like that. And then it will, if nothing is true, then it will come to else statements. If any one of them between is true, it will not come till else, it will break and it will just show that whatever that particular statement. For example, now it is white, it will come here and say it is not green, so it will not print this. It is not red, so it will not print this. Yes, it is white, so it will print this, and it will come out of this particular condition and it will stop. So now it's, you see, it stopped at walk. It did not print again, get ready. So that is how this will work, Karthik sir.
Okay, got it.
Yes. Yes. So which city you are from, sir?
Bangalore, sir.
Bangalore, is it?
Yeah, sir, Bangalore.
Okay. Okay. So I heard Bangalore. So what is your current background, sir? Many people from
CS engineering student only.
Wow, that's really nice. Okay. So basically,
So this is my third year. Yeah, we are attending the Python this year only. So I got some confusion in this Python.
okay. I think that is, that will get clear soon, because now you have more to learn, and slowly, you can even by yourself also learn. But even
Because
we have
in Bangalore, we are belong to some of the universities. So suppose city university or some boards. In that boards, we don't have this kind of syllabus. They have some separate kind of syllabus in Python only, particularly.
Yes,
So they will teach us something what different, and actually Python is something what different, and we see something outside, and the syllabus is something what different over there.
yes.
So that's why we get little bit confused about what is this board is doing and what the other Python things are going to do. Yeah.
I think I'll agree there, Karthik sir. So basically now you are a little fortunate, because universities have adopted Python. Till 2-3 years back, it was still C language, C++ only, right? So normally the curriculum is back by at least 5 or 10 years, sometimes even more, some concepts. So this will be also a surprise for many others who are not from CS background. So let's just say if you are a mechanical or any other background, what we normally think is, if we come out of engineering, people who have a CS background will be at a little bit more benefit. But if you look at market, like if you what people are hiring for, whatever is there in the industry is not matching whatever is being taught at college or university level. So they have to again train you. Right. So that is where the training happens. So even if you are from a non-IT background, or even if you're from a CS background also, you require a little bit brushing up based upon what is happening current in the market, and then go forward. Right. That there it is more conceptual, that is there, but it is also a little older curriculum many times. Right. So
yeah, to discover something out of the Python, we should know out of the Python only. The syllabus is not up to that.
Correct. Thank you so much, Karthik, for sharing.
Only they are covering about 5 modules, something in a semester.
Yes. There the intent is more on clearing the exams.
Topics.
Here, the topics and the exams. Here, the focus is more on getting job ready, or trying to look what market is actually needing for. Right. So even in our community, we focus on this, Karthik sir. What we do is we bring from the curriculum level, or even from beginner level, and then we tune them to what industry is looking for, and slowly you'll get there. So thank you so much for sharing your experience, Karthik sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, okay, so basically we have finished our second exercise. So today's exercise is more about conditionals, how you can give a conditional, and how you can make Python to think a little bit, right? So if you want to go till the level where you want Python to think on its own, you should give it thinking ability slowly, little by little, right? So this is your beginning. So many people who are from non-coding background are able to run the code. Even yesterday, you were able to run. So that is really exciting for all of us, right? Thank you so much, everyone. So we'll just take another exercise, which will clear the whole topic of conditionals, which will make it very clear for all of us, right? Okay. So Priya ma'am says, Priya ma'am also says, Karthik, Karthik said she's agreeing, and she also says when she graduated, it was C language and Centum 100. So right now Python is the thing. So I think ma'am, you're on the right track. Please go ahead and keep learning Python. Right. So the intent for whole of the 7 days is that every day we meet for half an hour to 40 minutes and learn a little bit and progress further. And from there, you can choose what to do. Right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sir, are we getting any certificates of the 7 days course?
Yes, for the 7th day, on the 7th day, we'll be having the certification as well. So people who have joined us all throughout, you'll be given a form. Once you fill that form, you'll be able to get the certificates.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, so we'll go to the third exercise now. Right, people who are watching us on YouTube, if you agree with what Karthik says, type A in the chat box, right? Because that is the truth, right? Thank you so much. Vijay agrees. Sarjanya agrees. Yes, that is the actual truth. Yes, thank you so much, Karthik and Priya ma'am, for sharing, a little bit about it. Deepak says you missed yesterday's session, so you can look for the live section on the channel itself, or if you are part of our group, you can see that there'll be the link in the description of the WhatsApp group, where you'll see the links for all of the sessions. Okay, thank you so much, Deepak. Okay, so we'll come to the exercise. So if you have understood, okay, Deepak, you've also joined Zoom. That's great. So how many of you understood what the two exercises that we have done? If you understood the two exercises, type 2 in the chat, 2E in the chat box. That's great. Thank you so much, Rajkumar. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Sarjanya. People are on our social channel. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Karthik. That's great. Thank you, Jadav. Thank you, Fahim. Okay. Clearly understood. Priya ma'am says clearly understood. Yes, I'm sure. So we'll understand this with another exercise. Thank you so much, Suresh. Right. So I'm going to share my screen once again. Okay. Great. Now, here the third exercise says, okay, so here the day 2, the third exercise says, we are going to make a score grader where if the score is greater than 90, the student should get an A. If it is between 59 or 89, he should get a B, he or she should get a B. If it is anything below 65, he should get an F, right? So this is what we are going to do, right? Yes, Suresh sir, we're going to share the link with you. Thank you so much for joining today. So you can even join our WhatsApp group. You can see on the YouTube link. You can join our WhatsApp group as well. Okay? So let me also take these exercise notes here and type. Yeah, thank you so much. So now we are saying the first condition is if 90 or higher, then the student should get an A, right? So even when in childhood, there used to be some grading system, like if so and so many marks you are in this grade. So many times we used to look at one particular sheet to see, okay, which grade am I on the right grade or not. So some mark list, some badging system would have been there. So similarly, now what we are doing, we are giving Python a little thinking ability and saying, we'll tell you what is the score that the student has got. You tell us if he's got an A, B, or F, right? So we are going to do that. So to do that, earlier we had in the exercise toss, in the coin flip exercise signal, we had a variable signal. So here we need to create a variable. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a variable. Let's just say score. Okay. Now we are going to give some value in the score. Let's just say if the score is, let's say 93 first. Okay. So now what we are going to do is here, if what should be condition. So earlier we worked with strings in toss, coin flip example, or signal example. We have worked with strings. Now we are working with numbers, right? So here we are going to say, now you can see when it is numbers, Anshul, you do not have a double quotes. Okay, now we are going to say if score is, what we have to say, 90 or higher. If anyone can tell us, like on chat or unmute, and tell what is something that we can have here so that this particular statement runs. Okay. So I'm going to write here print grade. Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, is grade is a?
So basically, okay. So now what we are going to do, Anshul, here is first based upon the score. Score is something that we are going to check. So we will do. Jadav also said here, if score is greater than 90, because now if it is 91, 92, 93, now you can do operator functions also. Now you can check if the variable, now earlier you said equal to, now you can say if score is greater than 90, print grade is A. Okay, so this is with numbers, you can even do greater than, equal to, and all the other things. Now what it will do, it will say, it will check what is the score. Now score is 93, 93 will be here. It will check if 93 is greater than 90. If 93 is greater than 90, it is going to print grade is A. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Now the grade is A. So you can see that with number, the condition got changed and we were able to print the grade A, right? But if you see 90 or higher, so we have only written we have one of the members said, gave the example, Jadav, right? So it's not just greater than, you also need an equal to. So if it is greater than or equal to 90, then print grade is A. Because the question here, the statement is 90 or higher. So if we just say greater than 90, it will just let's just say if it is only greater than 90, whenever there is score is 90, it'll 90 greater than 90 is false, and then it will not print grade is A, right? So let's just say if the score is 90 and the statement here is score is greater than 90. If I run it, you can see that nothing has run because here we have not given equal to. Now if I am going to say greater than or equal to, if I'm going to run it, because the score is 90, it will come here. 90 is greater than 90 or 90 equal to 90 is, because it is one of them is true, it is going to say print the grade is A, right? So I'm going to say, now it says grade is A. Okay,
sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we replace grade is A like B, grade is B, okay, then we wouldn't be run, right?
No, so basically there are two things here, Anshul. One is the logic at our end, right? So here what the Python will check is this particular after.
No, sir, it will actually run now, sir.
Yeah, so for
because
example,
we are not changing any variable, we are changing only the string.
Correct. So it will run, but that is not what is being asked. Now to answer Anshul's question, and Karthik, you are right, it will run here whatever you write. Even if I say giraffe, so it is going to run that, because this condition is true. Whatever you have within print statement, Anshul, it will print. But here, just because you have B here, this it will not. This will not. If you think that it will not run, it is not going to happen. The conditional is this. So based upon this check, you'll be able to.
Okay, means variable we have to define correct, right?
Correct. This condition, you have to define the condition correctly. The condition has to be correct, right? So based upon conditions, truth or false, the next statement, whatever you have in that, it will run, right? So you can, whatever you have, let's just say instead of A, you want to say first rank, right? So it is going to print first rank, right? So it will check condition first, and then it is going to print whatever is there within the block of code, right? So I hope that answers your question, Anshul. Thank you so much, Karthik.
Sir, is any for loop required, sir, here?
Yes, come again, Karthik.
Is any for loop required? For loop, because we are giving variable as integer, na?
Yes. So basically, right now we are covering conditionals. For loop is for later. But what you are asking here is, can we do a for loop to do a check like this? Yes, you can
Yes, sir, yes.
definitely use loops to do, because now we are
Sir,
only.
can you give an example for that, sir? For loop.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of while we come on to the for loop section, like tomorrow, I'll cover that, because we want to keep our lengths of our sessions also short so that it is digestible and we can
Okay.
come back. So tomorrow I'm going to even show you how to use, tomorrow we'll be covering lists. Day after we'll be covering loops, where it will be easier for you also to understand, right? So going in steps, right? Because we have many people who are
Okay.
covering from the basics, right? So thank you so much, Karthik. Now, the next statement is, if it is between 65 and 89, the student should get B. Okay. Now I'm going to say here the else if will come, right? So Jadav has the core score, the code already written on code on the chat, but I think there is one. So what Jadav has written, I'm just going to share it here. Okay. Else if what Jadav has written is this: else if score is greater than or equal to 65 and score is less than 89, then print grade is B. Okay, print will be small. Okay. Here I'll explain what Jadav, you are right here. I'll also explain this to others. So what the question here is, if the score is between 65 and 89, even 89, let's just say, even if it is 89, he should get a grade, right? Yeah. So Priya ma'am says here it should be greater than equal to 89, right? And this people might be confused. What is this double and, right? So I think Jadav, you have understood the concepts of C. So that is where you're coming and where you're saying ki, if score is greater than equal to 65 and score is less
Is
than.
ampersand required, sir, over there?
Yeah, so not required. In Python, Python is a little bit more simpler. You can even say A and D. And is an operator in Python. So thank you so much, Jadhav, for giving the code, your inputs on the code. So here and is required now, Karthik, because let's just say if it is only score is greater than or equal to 65, what will happen is, if there is any score, let's just say if I'm giving 70, the score is greater than 65 and it is also greater than 90, right? So basically it is greater than 65, but we want also something if it is less than 89, right? So for that reason, if the score should also be less than 89, and that is the reason we say and score is less than equal to 89. Okay, so I hope that is clear, Karthik, right?
Sir,
Yes, Jadhav.
here if we define else if in condition, score gets greater than equal to 65, then it would be run or not?
It will run based upon what is the condition. So so basically, to clear it, the best way is to practice. I'm going to also show it by example. Now let's just say score is equal to 90. So it will give, let's just say, first rank is given first rank, or grade is A. Grade is A. Now let's just say the score is 68. Okay, so it will come here and check if the score is greater than or equal to 90, because it is 68 now. It will say, okay, it is not greater than or equal to 90. Yeah, so then it will go here and check, yes, the score is greater than or equal to 65. Yes, then it will print B. Okay, but now let's just say if I want to have a score which is even lesser, right? So how do we give B, right? For example, if I have a score which is 89, okay, if I'm going to give 89, it is still going to give me, because it is still greater than 65, it is still going to give me grade is B, right? So just to see that any condition that we want to clarify, like here what we are asking, if it is between 65 and 89, we're going to give it up, we're going to use this operator. I want to introduce this operator and we'll say score is less than or equal to 89, and it will say both, right? It should also be less than 89, it should also be greater than 65. Let's say if we do not have the first statement, okay? Yes, Sangeeta, if you have a question. Okay, no question, right, thanks. Let's just say if we have only this statement, right? If there is no, the first statement is not there, what problem we might run into is, if score is just greater than or equal to 69, if this is the condition, if I want to run B, now whatever the score, even if it is over 90, also let's just say if the score is 94, if you run it, it will still give the score as B, right? But now I'm going to say and score is less than equal to 89, and if I'm going to run it, here it will not run, right? Because the score is 94 and our condition limits us between 65 and 89, and there is no other statement to check if the score, what to do when the score is greater than or equal to 90, right? So you can see that here nothing is happening, right? So this AND operator is helpful to do checks between two conditions, right? So that is actually a little helpful. So I wanted to introduce the AND statement. Okay, so we'll come back. So now that we are learning by exercise, thank you so much for everybody's engagement and involvement. Okay, now we are here. Now let's just say if it is anything else, anything below 65, the student should get a F, right? So if it is 57, let's just say if I'm going to run it, it will not run because there is nothing else we have told the program to do. So now we are going to say else, and then we are going to print. Yes, Priya. Okay, so for I will be using Priya ma'am's line here. You can even run it on your end. So how many of you are running it along with me? So if you're running it along with me, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of it and put it on the group, right? So we'll be opening our group, WhatsApp group. People who are joining us on our YouTube channel, you can just go ahead and join the WhatsApp group in the description, right? So Priya ma'am also says like else, if it is not both of these statements, then give an F. Now here there'll be a colon, so which will say the else statement ended here, and then whatever below it will be running. So now if I run it, it says the grade is F. So now based upon any score, let's just say if I'm going to give any score, if I'm going to say 25, it's going to give me a score. If I'm going to give 54, 57 or 54, it is going to give me a score, the grade. If I'm giving it any other numbers also, it's going to give me a score. So now Python is thinking, if you see, it is based upon a small logic that you have given. So now it is saying key, okay, yeah, so now this guy got a first rank. Now this guy got a grade B. Now this guy got a grade F, right? So this is how you're given a little thinking ability to Python. And we have used conditionals here. We have used conditionals in strings. We have used conditionals in numbers also, right? So I hope you can take a screenshot of this so that you can run it on yourself and share the screenshot, your own screenshot on the WhatsApp group. Okay, so how many of you have now understood conditionals clearly, or these three exercises clearly, right? If you have understood this, type U in the chat box.
So how can I make it for users, for other users?
Can you come again? Power uses?
So because only we are declaring the variable right there, na? Suppose
Okay, so basically
below
what
50,
you're
below
asking
30
is
something.
the input that you are saying, right?
Yeah, input. That
Yeah.
we are giving there. But if you want to
Yes.
give for some user interface means.
Okay. Okay. So basically what I would give is like right now, because today's mostly we are covering this, I'm going to give a link so that you can reference it. I'm going to share it with you, right? So let me show it here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen once again. Here in Python, so how do you do in, hope everybody has taken a screenshot. Now I'm going to clear this. In Python, how this works is like this, right? So for example, now input is a function that is going to take the input from the user, right? So you can try this, and maybe probably this particular Python, the block that you see here will not be able to run the input statement because this is more of fundamentals beginner level, but you can run this on any Python notebook. Even it could be an online notebook, or even it could be a Jupyter notebook or your system itself. You can run this. So what it will do is it will take the input from the user and save it in a variable, right? So I hope we'll cover more about it, Karthik, as we go forward, but I hope this answers your question.
Yes, sure.
Right. So here the power user can give an input, like let's just say I'm going to come to our example. Instead, here what we can do is we can just say score equal to input, and here it will ask the user the input, right? So then whatever the user enters, it is going to run by it, right? This particular interface, let me also check. I don't think this will be able to run the user input here because this is there, but I'll show you. Other users need not have to confuse. I'm going to just open something called a collab notebook. We'll cover this more in detail later, but today's exercise more on conditionals is clear. If it is clear, then that is good, right? So I'm going to create a new notebook. This is used for running a little advanced Python. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this code for you. Okay. So I'm going to show you the possibilities of what you can do with Python. You need not understand it fully. Other people who are just beginning to learn, then that should not be a problem, right? So
Yeah,
here,
that's what my question,
yeah,
because
yeah. So basically
what
now,
we are giving the input.
yeah. So let me run it now. Basically here. So if what, for example, here, if I'm going to run the same code, if I'm going to run it, so it is asking me an input, right? So if I say the input is 78 and click enter, so okay, it will. So there are a few errors here because let me remove it here. This interface requires a little different kind of this thing. Okay, let's try to run it again once. Okay. If this does not run, I'll just show you that one particular print statement, and then I'll come back on this as well. Right. So what here it is happening is, because this is a number, here whatever as I have input is a string. Okay. So here this exercise, maybe you can use this for the coin toss exercise. Okay. Because whatever I'm inputting here, the input is string. Let's say toss equal to input. Okay. Now it will take my input as a string. Okay. So let me run this. Right. Now I'm going to say heads. If I say heads, it is saying India's batting. If I say tails, it is saying Australia's batting, right? So people who have understood it is well and good. There is a function called input, which is very simple. If you want to do this in C or Java, it is a little tough. But in Python, you can just use this function to take an input from the user, and based upon what he says, the logic will say, okay, if it is heads, this, or if it is the score is 78, then this, right? So because this function has limitation, today's session is not about the input functions. So we're not going in detail, because we can even resolve the scorer also in this, but we have to convert the input into a number and all of that. So we'll cover that in a later steps. But Karthik, I hope your query is answered here. Yes, this is the question that you have here that you're looking for. Okay, okay, great.
Yeah.
So keep up the curiosity. I think it will take you places. Thank you so much as well. So anybody else who has any other, I request you to keep your questions to the current module.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So in the exercise toss and heads, we define toss heads. Okay. Here, if we define, sir, else if condition, we can define more, na? There is no foundation of this.
There's no foundation. Like you can any number of else if you can run. So you are doing, Anshul, this on a mobile phone or a desktop or device?
Actually, I will do it more. I am now currently on notebook. So
yeah. Okay. So basically, I request you to practice this, because if you're doing on pen and paper, at least even if you can do this on mobile also. When you do it, it becomes very clear, Anshul, because you'll run into errors, and errors are friends. So you will understand more from there itself, right? So I think I understand where these queries are stemming from, right? So I request you to exercise, run parallelly along with us, right? Thank you so much. And I think I answered your question also. Great. Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jadav. Thanks, Aishwarya. Thanks, Anshul. Thanks, Chandra. Thanks, Fahim. Thanks, Karthik. Thanks, Manpreet. Thanks, Priya. Thanks, Rajkumar. Thanks, Suresh. Okay, great. So because today we have gone over our set duration, we'll take more questions in our tomorrow's session. We'll meet tomorrow at same time, 6 o'clock, right? So Suresh sir, I would request you to go through the same exercise that we have done, maybe tweak it a little bit to your taste, and then put that screenshot in the group itself, right? So that will be helpful. Thank you so much, Suresh sir. Yeah, so Priyam, will cover your query also in our coming sessions. Thank you so much, Rajkumar. Thanks, everyone. So people who are on our watching us on our social channels, I request you to leave top 3 learnings in the comment section. Right. Okay, so people who have missed yesterday's session, I'll request you to go on to the channel. So let me share my screen. You can go on to the channel, say Pixeltests, and when you go to the channel Pixeltest, you can see that there is live, and here you can see that yesterday's lecture will be available, right? So you can see the previous lectures. So this will be helpful, I guess. Great. Okay, thanks everyone for joining in. And we'll be closing with our, thank you so much, Priya. I'll be closing with our Ho'oponopono technique. Very nice to learn with you. Thank you so much, Suresh sir. Same here. Okay, great. So we'll be doing our Ho'oponopono technique. This will be a different version of the same technique. I request you to close your eyes. Relax your breath. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back. Relax your feet. So I request you to repeat the statements loud if you are in that kind of a space, that you will be able to take more benefit. Keep your eyes closed and put your hand on your heart. This is called career ho'oponopono. Let's begin. I'm responsible for myself and my career. I'm really sorry, dear career, for not taking care of you. I'm really sorry, dear career, for not taking care of you. Please forgive me, dear career, for putting so much stress on you. Please forgive me, dear career, for not giving you enough time and practice. Thank you, dear career, in spite of all situations, for fulfilling your needs and fulfilling all your duties. Thank you so much. I know that I have not told you many times. I love you, dear career, even in your current situation and in any situation. Take a deep breath. Rub your hands together. Put that energy to your face. Okay, great. So I request you to put one word in the chat box. So how was this, the result of doing this ho'oponopono technique? What was the result before 2 minutes and after 2 minutes? Relaxing, calm, peaceful. Karthik says, I met me. I think that's great. Yes, keep meeting me. Keep meeting yourself. That's great. Thank you so much, Fahim. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Chandra. Chandra says calm. Thank you. Okay, so see you tomorrow then, everyone. In the meanwhile, you can go ahead, use the same link to practice and put that screenshots in the group. If at all you are watching us on our social channels, put your top 3 learnings in the comment section and join us on our WhatsApp group, which is the link is there on the description. Thank you.